Walking out of the consulate empty-handed after months of careful preparation is a uniquely devastating and frustrating experience. But a Section 214B refusal is not a permanent block on your education. It simply means you didn't legally prove your intent to return to your home country after graduation. We are going to fix that right now. Grab your previous DS-160 form, your I-20, and a blank notepad. A 214B rejection is a mechanical breakdown in communication. We can systematically diagnose the exact point of failure and rebuild your application in the next 5 minutes. Step 1 is the autopsy. Take your notepad and write down every question the officer asked during that first interview, along with your exact responses. Here is a checklist showing the 5 specific triggers officers are trained to look for. They include weak home ties, unclear study purposes, financial insufficiency, poor interview performance, and previous visa history issues. If you couldn't demonstrate property, family, or career prospects waiting for you, that falls under weak home ties. If your reasons for choosing a specific university seemed vague, you triggered the unclear study purpose flag. Providing bank statements that lack credibility points to financial insufficiency, while giving hesitant or misleading answers destroys your credibility under poor interview performance. Look at the notes you just wrote down. Match your previous answers against these 5 failure points to isolate exactly where your interview fell apart. You cannot draft new responses until you know exactly which of these pillars collapsed. Identifying your root cause dictates how we reconstruct your strategy. Step 2 is locking in your study purpose. Write down concrete bullet points explaining exactly why this course is required for your long-term career path. This graphic shows the difference between a failing and passing answer. The left side fails because it relies on generic statements about U.S. rankings. The right side succeeds by directly linking a data analytics course to a specific senior analyst role back home. Consider Ganesh. His initial application was rejected because he couldn't explain why he selected SUNY Utica over any other campus in the state system. For his second attempt, he replaced his generic preference with a highly structured argument, detailing exactly how SUNY Utica's specific curriculum aligned with the job requirements of his target industry. By replacing personal preference with professional necessity, he secured his visa approval on the very next try. To a visa officer, a university is a tool to extract value for a future career. Present your school as an indispensable professional asset. Step 3 is proving your intent to leave. You must hand the visa officer concrete, factual evidence that guarantees you will depart after graduation. Go back to your notepad. Write out 3 irrefutable, factual obligations that require your presence in your home country. This diagram maps valid home ties. The first branch represents physical anchors, including property ownership and dependent family. The second branch represents economic anchors, showing specific career opportunities and pending job offers in your home country that require your degree. You cannot rely on expressing a desire to come home. Your ties must be pre-existing, verifiable facts that pull you back across the border. The fastest way to trigger a rejection is creating a discrepancy between what you say and what you filed. Your spoken answers must perfectly align with your paperwork. Cross-reference your drafted financial bullet points against the exact funding data on your DS-160 and I-20. If you changed universities, ensure your logical justification matches the updated institutional data on your forms. Even perfect documentation can be undermined by your delivery. Visa officers often interpret hesitation or excessive nervousness as a lack of preparation for the interview. Take Gurpreet's application. Her profile was solid, but she was entirely derailed by anxiety during the interview and stumbled when asked to justify Seattle University. Before reapplying, she simulated the pressure through rigorous, out-loud mock interviews. This repetition built muscle memory, allowing her to answer clearly without freezing. Practice your new bullet points out loud until the delivery feels conversational. Repetition builds the familiarity needed to stay composed when answering the officer. A well-researched application requires a delivery that matches the quality of the documentation you've gathered. Look at your notepad. You now have a customized, synchronized strategy that clearly defends your study purpose and establishes concrete home ties. Because there is no waiting period to reapply after a 214B refusal, you can book a new appointment as soon as you have integrated these improvements. To stress test this strategy, schedule a professional mock interview session with the specialists at Blue Hawks EDU abroad before you step foot in the consulate again. Your next interview is an opportunity to walk into that room and present your strategy as a clear business case.